So this is podcast number 19. Welcome back. We all respectively went on some sort of vacation or we got hit by Hurricane Sandy and didn't have power. So we wanted to say welcome back and hopefully you guys have power and you're doing well and safe. Today we are going to talk about, we're going to kind of sum up the Halloween event. We're going to talk about how the economy's been changing with this guy. We are going to talk about the Lost Shores, the new content that is coming out this Friday. We are also going to talk about some guild events and some of that stuff that we're doing, some real life get-togethers. Just so you know, this podcast is live every Monday at 5:15 p.m. Eastern for the pre-show, and then you can see us start talking about shit around 5:45. If you miss that, it gets published to YouTube every Wednesday. So we are getting back onto schedule now. I don't foresee any crazy disasters or vacations in the future. So hopefully we will be able to get this done. Get her done. I am extremely jet lagged personally, so I'm going to let these guys take over majority of this podcast.
Good luck.
Anyway, I do want to talk about some stuff that I want to hit before we just start jumping into this. ALTTABME.com has started to implement some new cool features. You should check it out. One of them is the war. This is ultimately going to be implemented in phases. The first phase is an individual challenge where every day there's essentially a daily on the website where it's a quest of some sort. We call it missions, and those missions could be posting a picture of your cat, looking really cute, or scouring the internet for something that isn't bullshit. And once you post there, you get points, you get personal points. Me and Katie, one of our guildmates right now, we're working on coding it and making it so it's all automated. Right now we have it up as a temporary solution just so you can check it out and see what we're doing. A lot of the functionality came from the old website that we ran, ALTTABME, and we wanted to bring all that stuff into ALTTABME.com. So check it out if you enjoy it. Tell us how you feel about it. You can give us input, feedback, any suggestions. And if you know any programmers or designers and you want to get involved in our process, feel free to hit me up. Triage TR1AGE on the forums. Just send me a private message and tell me what you could bring to the table. We are more than happy to have people help us out. Because this guy over here, he just sits here and looks pretty with a beard. She just kind of makes sexual innuendo of everything, and he just hoards all his money. So, that's kind of how we roll with that. Anyway, some cool stuff going on with that. The rant section's going well. We'll have a lot more information for you guys as we go along in future podcasts. We'll tell you how the updates are going. But essentially what we're doing is we're pushing it out in phases, so to say, so that instead of pushing it all out as one big content, you could think of it as like Guild Wars 2 pushes out content patches. And that is essentially what we're going to do is we're going to have content patches that update it. So ultimately what this is going to end up being is a war between 2 or 3 factions of the website. So if you're an ALTTABME.com member, you can pick what faction you want to be a part of, and you can battle for them and gain points for your team and take over territory and yada, yada, yada. Anyway, I won't get too far ahead of us. So why don't we jump into the first thing that makes sense here, and why don't we talk about the wrap-up of the Halloween event? So I know that our last podcast was ripping on Guild Wars 2 Halloween event. How did you guys feel about, did you feel that it ended well? Did you feel like it had a good wrap up? Did you enjoy the final content that was implemented? Tell us your feelings. Anybody?
I liked the last instance. I mean, I thought it was a lot of fun because I just thought it wasn't like super long, and when we ran it like a bazillion times was cool, but I think it kind of sucked that it flooded the market with all those items, so that probably wasn't ideal, but it was still a lot of fun. I liked the actual layout of it, and I thought it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, for what
there
she's
actually there was like go ahead.
It was actually really nice to have a grinding dungeon, though. That's something we haven't had yet, where you could actually a farmable thing that was a random chance. It was nice to have something like that implemented because there isn't that right now, unless you grind super long dungeons or farm dragons, which is on a 3-hour timer. It was just nice to have that. Oh, I only have 10 minutes to do something. I kind of want to try to earn something. Okay, up 5 people, bam, go kill it, 10, 15 minutes, log off. Oh, that was nice to see you guys. It was nice to have that small spurt activity to do that could be rewarding.
Well, when you implement drinking games
Yeah,
into
it's
those
like-
dungeons, it makes for like the perfect cocktail of awesome. So,
Yeah, that worked out pretty well.
yeah. No, I agree with you. I totally agree. The feeling of like a grindable dungeon felt really nice to me. And it was, you were guaranteed like a cool item, or you had the chance of an exotic dropping. And I never knew really in this game where you could get an exotic. So the fact that there was a place that was almost guaranteed to eventually drop an exotic was definitely a fire under my arse to, run it more. And it was a lot of fun
Did
to
you get
run
one?
it. I did. I got a couple, but none of them were what I wanted. But I made money. So that's cool.
Weird, Tristan, did anybody get the one you wanted?
I only know one person, and I'm not talking to her.
Hold on, what is it?
The
What were
arachnophobia
you
bow.
aiming for?
The arachnophobia bow.
I still
Mine's a
have
bow.
one.
Yeah, whatever.
I have it.
I got the
wasn't
crossing.
for it.
I got the crossing, so I'm just gonna
I
have
have
to
that too.
be happy. You bought all these though. You bought all these. You didn't get them from a drop. Don't try to act all
Yeah.
high and mighty. You bought these. You spent money.
Yeah, but I still have all of them. I got all the skins. I got all the weapons. I got everything except for the everlasting tonic. So
You hear that, everyone?
least
Sell
that
your
one.
items for 12 gold because they're not worth anything now. So sell them cheap. Sell them low. Sell them now.
it's all right. I'm on
Prices
the
are
long-term
down
investment. It's okay. Yeah. Prices are way down right now.
Yeah.
They're actually like right now. If I were to sell everything, I would probably break even.
Yeah.
And that's even after the 15% TP mark, I would about break even. So I'm it's okay. I'll wait.
Well, breaking even, I guess, is better than, going in debt. Like Mike's
Yeah.
lovely idea of us buying Black Lion chests only
They will
to...
come back.
They will not come back. They will not.
It's all right. I still buy them at 3 copper a piece. So if you ever want to sell them for 3 copper, I'll buy them.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
man.
only a couple 100,000 on the trading post right now. But with the crossing, I was laughing because Tristan was on Mumble when he was looking. He's like, "Oh, I got 20 gold. I can either buy the bow or I can buy the staff." And I got on and I said, "For me personally, I would probably buy the bow because if the market tanks, I can still use the bow." And he goes, "Oh, I could use the staff. I'm going to buy the staff." Okay, I bought it. I immediately regret my decision. I wish I had the bow.
I remember this.
It's true. It's true because I feel like the arachnophobia has a much more like in your face design, so people are like, "Ooh, I want that more." Except if you look at the market now, they're both selling for the exact same price. So
Yeah.
supply and demand, I guess, definitely
Do a trade.
took a thing there. I don't want to trade.
Well,
No.
that's the other thing.
Why do you all stop? You don't have to stop. Talk over each other. This is a fucking podcast. Talk over them. Bruce, you make everything awkward. Talk. Holy shit.
I know I do. I know I do. That's my job.
Do it.
I make things awkward.
Talk now. Now.
Well,
Now.
I'm pretty happy that I have everything. Oh, well, the great sword is the only thing that I think I'm slightly losing money on, and but that's okay because that'll eventually, long term, I think I'll make a profit, even if it's just off of inflation.
Maybe. That sword for some
Maybe.
reason tanked hard.
Yeah.
I don't understand
No
that
one
one, to
wanted
be
it.
honest.
Those things were on the market a lot longer because of the Black Lion chests. You could still get them for a lot longer than you could everything else, other than crafting it. The only reason why I buy everything, the 3 weapons, for probably about 45 gold for all 3 of them. I mean, I got them dirt cheap. I think I paid 10 or 12 for the shield and then like 15 for the other 2. And the way I looked at it, the cost of making it is around 100 gold. So even if all the use items go off the market, the only way to get it is to craft it. It's going to be worth around what the crafting mats are for, which is around 100 to 110 gold at current rates. Over inflation, you can probably see a good chunk of all the orbs and cores and all that stuff going up in price over time, unless just for market changes. So I'm hoping over time I'll be able to make over 100 gold for each of those weapons. That's my end possibility goal when things leave the market.
It's possible once people start buying them up and they're not on the market anymore. I think 2 or 3 months you might be able to sell those. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm holding on to my crossing.
The thing to remember is,
I'm looking at the 8 to 10 months, honestly. Yeah, that's the other thing.
There is no more supply of those. They're not in the Black Lion chest anymore. They're not. The only way you can get them is if you made the recipe when Halloween was out.
And the recipe will cost you about 90 to 100 gold.
You can still make the recipe now if you have the mats.
But the mats will cost you 90 to 100 gold.
I have all the Halloween mats though. That's the thing.
No, but it's not Halloween. It's not Halloween mats that you make these things with. This is like real, legitimate mats.
To make the weapons, yes, but to make the actual recipes for them do require a bunch of candy corn and nuggets and teeth and all those other things.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that mats total, it's going to cost you 90 to 100 gold for the mats to make the weapon. Yes. So those weapons are going to jump to 90 to 100 gold. Easily, no questions asked, because the mats cost that much.
Eventually, hopefully.
Yes.
When the supply that's out there right now goes away. Yes.
So I mean,
that's what we're all holding on, waiting for.
Yeah.
Hoping for.
I mean, okay, so like let's take a jump from that. Tell us about the bots, Mike, and how that's going to affect our economy.
Well, the biggest thing right now, I don't know if everybody's heard, but 2 days ago, day before yesterday in the morning, ArenaNet came through and banned a big wave of bots. They finally got enough info together to hit them all at once like they've always been planning on doing. And what we're seeing now is the market is stabilizing back to prices where there's no bots throwing a ton of materials and a ton of items on the trading post. So you're seeing a lot of the tier 6 stuff going up in price, the fine materials, the crafting materials, all that stuff, because there's a lot less supply with the bots not being there, and there's still the same demand, so prices are definitely going up. Some of the lower level areas where like they were grinding out centaurs and things like that, you're seeing the same thing, but what we're basically seeing is a market correction. So anything that you've got now that you were holding on to, it might be a good time to sell it, because the bots will come back. There's just too much of an actual real world economy built around it that they won't find another way to get bots in there. And while the bots while they're working to come back and they're not in the game, prices are going to be high. When they come back in, prices are going to start going down again. But in the meantime, materials for stuff is high, but it hasn't translated yet to the end product that are made. So like if there was a profit in making tier 6 armor or weapons, now your profit margins are either non-existent or cut very low, because the materials to make them, prices have gone up, but people are still expecting to pay only 2 gold for this item that was 2 gold a week ago. They're not expecting the prices to go up on those, so you're not going to be making as high a profit on those. You're going to have to find a couple other markets in the meantime. But right now, I think it's a good thing. Farming is a lot more profitable now. If you feel like going out and doing dynamic events in ore, you're going to get more money for the things that you get than you were a week ago, because there's less supply out there. Especially if you're one of the people that goes and does the route of doing the mining and the tree chopping down, whatever you want to call that. That's the official term, tree chopping down. That's
what is it actually called? Like
Chopping down.
Lumberjacking?
I think it's just farming in general, right?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
it's just
It's chopping wood, chopping lumber.
chopping lumber.
lumberjacking.
Killing trees.
Lumberjacking, I think I'm going to go with that.
Lumberjacking.
Lumberjacking. It's like my potion that turns me into a furniture. Everybody hates when I
Logging.
say that it turns me into a furniture, but it turns me into tables and chairs, and I call it turning me into a furniture.
You know,
But,
I've opened probably 500 chests looking for that freaking potion. I still haven't gotten it.
Gambling, man.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So
Ugh.
it's actually affected one of the things that I was doing on a very large scale, and it's cut out my profit margin. I was salvaging tier 6 cloth salvage items, so rags and discarded garments. And I was doing it because I was trying to get actual numbers on which salvage kits give you how many mats back of the higher level. And what I found was that the crude kits were giving you a certain amount, and then the basic ones were giving you a little bit more. And I found a profit margin on the basic ones where each salvage was making me between 1 and 8 copper per salvage, and I was doing stacks and stacks of salvages. I've done over 30,000 salvages in the past month, and
Exciting.
yeah, it's
So
it's a little bit
exciting.
grindy. But I would basically put in bids and buy orders for salvage items, and when they got there, I'd spend 5 minutes salvaging them, turning them into bolts, and selling them, and I would make 2 to 5 gold a day just doing that in the meantime while I was doing my other stuff. But right now, the prices of the basic salvage items have gone up because there's less bots out there putting them on the market, but the prices of bolts of gossamer and silk are staying the same. So I don't really have that anymore. I have to find something else that's my easy, mindless money grind.
Oh no,
But-
you actually have to work again. You actually have to do something more than
I have to do
clicking
some more
2
research,
buttons
make more
1,000
spreadsheets.
something times.
Yeah.
Hey, I went
Sorry,
farming.
I'm sure I'll abuse the hell out of your spreadsheets.
I went farming today, and I made like a gold in 20 minutes. It was pretty sweet.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I know.
Where'd you go?
I went to the Cursed Shore, and I just ran a couple events, and fucking all of a sudden I was like, oh, look at all these mats, and I was like, oh, let me just sell them all.
I really
2
need
gold.
it there.
I mean, a gold. Sorry.
I just don't get it.
No, I don't like
And
it there
I've
either. I don't
heard
like the
about
undead. I don't
it,
like the
but,
noises. I don't like
I hate
the
it.
environment. I don't like the maze of everything. I just don't like it. But
I haven't done like
What's that?
anything out there. I was there for like maybe half a level, and then I'm like, alright, see you later.
yeah, if Hurricane Sandy hit
What
the
was it?
Cursed
I tried-
Shore, I'd be like, woo!
What was it? I
It
tried to
gets
do the
repetitive, that's for sure.
I tried to do the flanks tour, the phalanx grind rep thing that you just go around in a circle, do those events, and you end up going like around in another circle, do a different set of events, and then another in the other way. It's like 2 chains that just go in a circle around each other, and it's
Yeah.
the fastest karma and gold experience chain or something like that. You add all
Yeah,
the
the
boosters. I
points.
tried it for a while. I did it for like probably an hour. And it's like, how can people do this for days at a time? It's so boring.
Yeah, no,
So
it gets
And
boring.
there's like 100 people there.
Yeah, there's a
Oh my
lot of
God,
people.
it's just
There's
like-
a lot of people that do it.
Ugh.
And
God,
everybody's
it's
sitting there
tough.
like talking about the new content. Actually, the Barons chat is in the Cursed Shore. That's where it is. Barons chat is there.
Yeah.
It's so funny listening to people bitch and moan and like talk about random shit. They're just everybody is asking. They're recruiting for guilds. They're doing everything
like,
in the Cursed Shore.
What else is there to do? Like, it's pretty boring.
Yeah, I mean,
know?
yeah. There's definitely that carrot on a stick that does not exist in Guild Wars 2. So, I mean, actually, you know what? That leads us to our next thing. And this is going to go to
Ooh,
Bruce.
segue.
Bruce, baby. Tell us about... Oh, why? I thought it was this way. Damn it. Bruce, why don't you talk about... becoming a patch jumper because of the lack of content?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I've fallen into. The first 2 months were fantastic, and I loved playing everything about the game. But now I'm at a point where I have my main, I have my 80, I have the best gear I can have for all the specs that I can have. I've theory crafted the frick out of my class. I've done absolutely everything I can do. Yes, I can still play World v World. I can still do structured PvP. I have a plethora of gold. I have everything I really want, and now I'm at a what now situation. After Halloween, I've played probably about 3 hours. I really haven't been playing at all. And when I got wind of the new patch, I got very excited because it's like, wow, something new again. And then it hit me. I'm a patch jumper. I hated these people in WoW that would play the content for a month and then they would stop existing for 6 months and then they come back to the next thing. It's like, hey guys, I'm back. It's like, oh, well, nice to see you exist again. And all of a sudden I realize it's only been, a week or two, but I'm becoming that person in a much smaller interval. Hopefully they keep running this stuff out. But it's like, I'm bored. I got bored. I overplayed it. I did everything I could do. The only thing I have left to do is a legendary, and like I said, I tried to grind out everything I want for a legendary, all my karma shit. It got boring.
You know what the problem is?
And, the only thing...
You know what the problem is that this game... So, for us people that like to go hard, and we like to play really hardcore, this game doesn't really give us a place to go. Like, it tells you that you hit the content the minute you log in. Bam, there's all the content, and there's the exciting stuff. And so you're like, cool. And so you're enjoying your entire time, except you're enjoying it at a faster pace than... Did a reindeer just jump over you, Tig? What was that?
The dog
Oh,
crazy.
it sounded like a woo! And then I heard bells. I was like, what the hell? No, but you go at a faster...
Yeah.
Like, you're going... So, like, for us, we go at a much faster pace than, say, a casual player. And so... You're burning through this awesome content because it's just like really exciting, and you're like, woo! And then you get to the end, and you're like, is this the end? Wait, I have to go back to do some stuff, and then you're like, okay, all right, hold on, let me wrap my head around this. You're like, okay, I'm gonna go do some dungeons. So you do some dungeons, and then you look at it, and you're like, okay, so wait, I'm gonna grind some dungeons. Wait, I thought this game wasn't about grinding. I thought, I gotta grind to get the gear I want. Okay, alright, well, okay. We'll grind a dungeon. So you grind a dungeon. You're like, woo, I got my cool armor set, I got my cool weapons, I got my cool shit, I got exotics up the asshole, which is very painful, by the way. And you're like, this is awesome, man, this is great, especially if it's like a scepter or something, or like a focus. Those things are big. Anyway.
Something from the Cursed Shore with barnacles
Oh, dude,
all over
yeah,
it.
yeah. Oof. Anyway, so you're like, cool, I got all this stuff. And then you realize that if you want to get any other stuff, you got to do the same grind. And you're like, oh, I don't know about this. Like, if you look in map chat in Lion's Arch, which is the main city, the main hub, people go looking for group for AC, explorable. That is all you ever see. People run AC explorable because it has glowing weapons. And for some reason, everyone in this game seems to be level 30, and that's about it. Like, everybody's just level 30, and then they're done. They're like, all right, I'm level 30. I know what the game is all about. I hit level 30. I don't need to go any further. Like, all these reviews I read about people that are like, I understand Guild Wars 2. They're like, I am level 30, or I'm level 27, and I know this game. I've got it down. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, so that aside, my rant aside, so you've got that, and so now you've got your exotics, you've got all your shit. And so then you really are stuck with, where do I go? Like, there's no zone for endgame. Like, your personal story leads you to the end zone, kind of. Like, it gets you close to the end zone, and then when your personal story ends, it literally doesn't give you any guidance or where should you go to feel like you're... So this whole time you've been going through these zones, right? And you feel like you're progressing your game forward. You feel like you're progressing the story in the world. Like, they have these really cool events. But then you get to these last zones... And literally, like you said earlier, it's a treadmill of events that don't stop. So you like beat this one thing, you're like, yes, I beat it, and then like 10 minutes later you come back and people are doing the same exact thing, and you're like, wait, that didn't feel like I did anything. It didn't feel long lasting. I didn't get to like hold a cool keep. I don't get like new vendors. I mean, I get a new vendor for like 10 minutes. Like, it would be cool if you could like take over the castle. And now the whole thing has switched, and now you have to defend that castle. You have a hub there. People can port there and like fucking Lord of the Rings style hitting the walls because you have this castle until it finally just falls. And so you're like, yeah, I held that castle for 6 hours. I don't know. Something like that would be kind of cool. But they're really...
Well, I mean, a lot of that's in PvP, and also the game's only been out for like 3 months, so they might obviously add more stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
just saying.
that's the
Also,
other
I
thing,
didn't
though.
say that. Someone else said it in chat.
No.
But I mean, that's the other thing, though. That's where the term patch jumping comes in.
Uh-huh.
Where hopefully they are going to keep pumping this stuff out, every... They did say the next few months are going to be new things every month, and that's where I'm excited. I can do something for a week or two, get my fill of it, take a break, and then guess what? In 2 weeks, when something new comes out, I'll come back in again.
Well, I'm actually very
That's
happy about
beauty
the
of
patch.
the no-sub game.
The patch that they're coming out
I
with
am
is
too.
really
I'm
cool because they finally took their idea of no stat increase on weapons and armor, and they went, maybe we'll increase it a little bit. And it's enough where the hardcores are like...
confirmed, though.
No, it's confirmed.
Yes.
It's confirmed. They confirmed
Yes,
it.
it is.
It is confirmed?
Yeah, it's confirmed.
Oh, okay. I thought it was still like...
No, it's confirmed.
Oh, man,
Yeah,
that
they're
hand
gonna-
popped.
No.
That's
John
gonna be even
Peters
more
did
pumped now.
Yeah.
impromptu interview in the Mists a day or two ago, and out of that came the fact that he said it's going to be slightly better than exotics.
Yeah.
And
5%?
there,
Yeah, something like
He
that.
didn't give a number, but he said slightly better. And the top end of those items are going to have, I forget what they call, but it's like a enchantment that you can put on it. So you're going to have maybe a sigil slot plus.
Hey, sigil!
starting
Don't
with
piss
an
off all of
eye.
YouTube.
Sigil. Oh, whatever.
This guy,
So it's
Mike.
going to have that plus. It says it's not inscription, but it starts with an I. Infusement, maybe.
It's something for your character. It's not on the
Yeah,
weapon. It's something for your
you-
character. It's something crazy.
Well, they're only
I don't
doing the
understand
whole
it.
armor.
I thought it was for the armor pieces.
Yeah, they're only doing armor this patch, and they're
Yeah.
not doing all the armor. They're doing certain pieces, and it sounds like it's only coming from the dungeon that they're adding in.
But I don't know what it does.
But-
It sounds interesting. I don't know what it does. It sounds cool. It sounds like it gives you
Well-
some new skills or something, which could be really fucking bitchin'. So that's
Infusion
exciting.
is what I'm
Well-
reading.
It's something
Yeah.
permanent.
Yeah.
I know
I
it's
didn't
something
play Guild
permanent.
Wars once, so I can't help you.
I might be wrong.
I
Yeah,
thought
a
it
lot
was-
of people are referencing Guild Wars 1 with this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't
thought
play it, so I can't comment.
the armor.
We'll
like,
go with what people on
enchantment
Twitch are
was-
saying, and they're saying infusion.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but it looks cool.
So yeah, they're giving us slightly better gear for another dungeon grind, and this dungeon is going to be super grindy. This dungeon, I don't know if you guys read how it works.
It doesn't
It's
end.
got like 9 mini dungeons in it.
No, wait,
And
that's,
then-
there's.
It never
Yeah, you're
ends.
talking about the fractals of the mist.
Yeah, the fractals of the
So,
mist.
so how does that keep going then?
It
Because
every
it's
time
just
you
like
run
randomized.
it,
Some
every
points.
time you run it, the difficulty level increases, and then you
Right.
run it again,
No, I
and
get that.
it like expands and it changes due to difficulty, and new bosses can show up depending on what difficulty, depending on what circumstances you fight it in, depending on who you kill first, and then you beat it, and it brings you back to like after you beat it, it brings you back to like a place where you can sell
Central
your
it
shit.
teleports you to another, yeah, like it teleports you somewhere. You can like hit the vendor, do whatever.
Yeah, and then you go
keep
back
going.
in, and then new shit can happen.
Yeah.
And it literally can just keep
Well, what
going
is that about?
over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's got 9 mini dungeons, and each time you run it, it puts you in 3 of those mini dungeons randomly, one after the other, and then every other time you run it, you get a boss also. So like the first time you run it, you get 3 mini dungeons, you go back to the hub. You go run it again, you get 3 mini dungeons plus a boss. You go back to the hub. Then you go back in, you go 3 mini dungeons, and then you go back to the hub. And every time you go back in for the 3 mini dungeons, it gets harder. It gets the mobs get harder to kill. There's more of them.
What was that
You
iPad
do
or
less
iPhone
damage.
game? Infinity Blade. It reminds me of a lot of Infinity Blade. If you guys ever played that, did you ever play that on the iPad or the iPhone? It's a game.
Yes.
I played Fruit Ninja.
No, it's
Is it
not
like that?
No, it's not like Fruit Ninja.
Like Fruit Ninja.
No, it was
Sucks.
essentially the same idea where it was the same exact stuff you're fighting, but depending on what path you took, you would go in, and if you beat it, it would throw you back to the entrance, and you'd have to go through it again, but it would be harder, and you could upgrade your gear on the way in, and it would help you through it. I do want to.
Yeah, it sucks.
No, it was fun. It was fun, but it also it's kind of Diablo-esque with the whole like random generation of wings. So the new dungeon is going to be semi Diablo-esque with that idea.
Well, but my question is though, so if it's a mini dungeon, is it like the ones where anybody can go in, or you have to be in a group for it? So it's like a regular
5
dungeon?
5-man.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's
it's gonna
not
be a
like
group.
the world's mini dungeons.
No.
No, but they're structured like those. Like it's got a course to it. It's got some cool stuff in it. This is from what I've read so far, anyways.
Yeah, no,
that they
it's
are
fine.
they're built like
they
the
said
mini
mini
dungeons,
dungeons.
where it's not like this giant labyrinth where you have to go into it. It's a bunch of small things that you randomly get.
It sounds like
So
fun.
it changes and
It sounds
evolves.
like fun. Plus,
Yeah,
you get some new cool armor and stuff, and I'm really excited. To be honest, I've never been excited about an upgrade, but this game, and so okay, let's take a step back though for everybody that's like gonna bitch and be like, I don't want an upgrade because I'm not gonna be a good player, and then somebody else is gonna beat me because I don't have 0.24% stat increase. Anyway, for you people that are like freaking out about the fact that you're not gonna have that 0.2% fucking increase on your weapon, whoop-de shit, man. This game is so skill-based, it's ridiculous. I don't care if you don't have your little aiming cursor like fucking boobies, or otherwise known as Terra. Then you literally, like, I ran this game in all yellows, which is, I guess, one down from exotics. So it's the affordable exotic for, poor people. I ran this whole game, every dungeon in yellows, and I had no problems whatsoever, as long as I knew what I was doing. When I went and bought, finally, I was like, I'm going to buy my exotic set. I don't want to fucking grind for it. I don't want to find it. I just want to pay for it. So I bought everything I wanted, and I bought it exactly spec'd out to the way I liked it. And I went to a dungeon, I was like, this is going to rock. I'm going to kill everything so much faster. Yeah, no. It was like, I saw maybe like a number 2 increase on my damage. Like, instead of bleeding for 82, I was bleeding for 83.4. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't anything that made anything significant, but I felt badass, So, I mean, it's not that crazy to have a stat increase in this game, and I don't think they're going to continue stat boosting. I think they're just trying to make it so that, people that want that feeling of, oh, I got something that's a little better, you can finally get that feeling. Yeah, and I have that too, which is weird because usually I'm like, fuck that shit. Blizzard did it, and I was like, I love Blizzard games, I love Blizzard to death, but fucking, I was just like, every 2 minutes there was a goddamn patch, and I was like, I can't fucking arena, I can't do anything because everybody has better shit than me, and I can't play as much as they want me to play. But the way that they're releasing these content updates, it feels as though it's attainable because you have time. You can take your time. You can enjoy the content. The Lost Shore is going to be there for, it's not going to go away. It's permanent.
Right, it'll be there forever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you guys think? How does it feel to you, the whole content change?
I agree, actually. Not only am I not min-maxed in this game, which I used to always do, I've been wearing my Magic Find set everywhere. So out of the 3 stats, I've got one that's Magic Find that does nothing whatsoever for my combat or defense. And I was wearing yellows until the Halloween update because all of a sudden I found that the Mad King was dropping exotics, and like the clock tower, you got that that set of boots. And I, for one, actually
8 hours
loved
of
the
my
clock tower.
life.
It took me 5
8
hours.
hours of my life ruined on that fucking
8
clock towers
hours?
for
That's
2
because of how
characters.
terrible
Terrible
every
Pretty
game.
sure
when
it
you were
was
done.
2 hours.
I did 2
You
characters.
guys are terrible.
No,
okay.
no, I'm not terrible. I'm awesome. It was the fact that
After an hour, I could do it flawlessly. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you people.
because you're a giant char,
I
and
don't
so
know
you're
why
just
I
like.
stopped on it. It took me 5 hours.
Oh, I've done it. I did it on Azure too. I did it on Azure.
You know
I had
what?
other
I
people
loved
give
it,
me their
though.
account information so I could do it. 5 minutes, done. It took me
What's wrong
longer to
about
find a
that?
freaking door in there.
Let's ban
than
this
it took
guy.
me to do the
Guyawin
clock
in
tower.
game. His name is Guyawin. You can ban him for account sharing.
Yeah, everybody send him hate mail.
Hey, it's not me. It's their accounts that are actually.
It's
so
true.
yeah. So
I don't know, but to be honest,
Sucks to
I have
be you.
never been so happy in my life than when I finished that fucking jumping puzzle. I don't care how long it took me.
See,
When
how great is that?
I finished it, I was like, for like 20 minutes, I didn't move.
Footage, we've
I
seen
think
it.
we saw that.
Yeah, you can go to ALTTABME.com and check that out if you want.
Yeah.
So.
That's there.
On a complete side note, by the way, with like the idea of patch jumping and the idea of content and the delay of content and stuff, there's stuff, but you kind of have to wait every now and again for new stuff. ALTTABME.com is adding those cool new features for a reason. The community has been growing really strong, and the reason that we're adding this kind of stuff is that we really want a place for people to be able to go and also play. You know, like we're not toting ourselves as game developers because we're not gonna go make like a fucking Minecraft or something. But we're giving you fun stuff to do while you're at work. That's why the website's called ALTTABME. ALTTABME, the site. ALTTAB, the site. Alt-tab it because your boss is coming. Alt-tab it because your wife is coming. Alt-tab it because, you know, I don't know, whatever. Alt-tab that shit because you're watching it too much. Anyway, that's the idea of the site. It's like it's a cool place to hang out, but it's also a place to compete and play games and all that shit. Yada, yada. Check it out. See what we're up to. Also, we are looking for people to do the following things. We need reporters. If you're interested in like writing news articles about the latest gaming events, stuff that's going on in the gaming industry, stuff that's going on in the world, like, you know, Hurricane Sandy, that kind of stuff. We have all sorts of places for that kind of shit. We would like to have some community managers, people that can like moderate the forums a little bit. We need some help with that. We're starting to get pretty big, so a little bit of help in that area would be great. Video content creators, stuff that, you know, you can go in game, you know, maybe we'd like you to like cover some of the guild events that we do server wide, stuff like that, make some videos and stuff like that. And also a curator for our guides and our useful information. We have all this stuff that we've been compiling that our guild has come up with, like influence meters, you know, crafting solutions, ways to craft faster, ways to make money. You know, Mike's done a lot of money things, and we have all these really cool guides, but we could use some organization on that. So if you're good at organizing and you want to get involved, feel free. So you don't have to, you know, we play Guild Wars 2, but we play all the other games. ALTTABME.com is our community. Arcanix is our guild. So it's like, come be part of the community and come take on a bigger role in the community itself. That would be super helpful, and I think you'll have fun. So anyway, I'm not trying to plug. It made sense to talk about it right there.
It worked.
Yeah. But talking about cool stuff that we do, we are having a real-life get-together coming up here. Yeah. Bruce, why don't you tell us about that a little bit, since you organized it?
He's so excited. Look at him. Oh my
I'm sorry. It's been like 3 months in the planning for me. This is one of my babies. I'm really big into getting together with people. Like that's one of the reasons why I love getting into some of these guilds where we actually build relationships with each other. Because a couple of years ago, I actually took a road trip and drove 4,000 miles in 2 weeks to meet a bunch of guildmates. And this is the shit I live for. Yeah, that happened. She was one of them.
Well, yeah, you came to our wedding, Bruce.
Yeah, yes. Anyways, segue. What I wanted to do. Yeah, that was like 3-4 years ago, whatever, no big.
That was too long ago.
So what I wanted to do was try to create something for all of us to go to. And I'm like, well, I live in a rinky-dink apartment. We're not going to meet here. So I was like, fuck it. It's been a while since I've been to a casino. Let's go to a casino! Yay! Gambling, drinking, debauchery. So I decided let's go to Foxwoods in Connecticut. And posted it on the forums. You know, a couple people were like, yeah, okay, I might go, but I need to know a day. So that second, I was like, all right, we're going November 30th to December 2nd. We are going that weekend. People are like, yeah, okay, I kind of want to go. It's like, all right.
Why does our entire like community sound like idiots all of a sudden? Okay, maybe we go there. Burn fried potatoes.
All right, so so I'm excited. We have about 12 people right now who are actually coming out, myself included. Cigarette up there, he's flying out from freaking Arizona. He's taking a 4-hour flight to come out to this event. So kudos. Yeah, you only have like a 4-hour drive. That's a little bit different.
I drive 4 hours.
Is it a 4-hour drive from us?
Roughly.
It's a 2-hour drive for you. I'm picking you
Oh,
up,
okay.
so it's a 2-hour drive to you, and then a 2-hour drive.
Why are
for
we
you.
going to Connecticut, by the way? Why Connecticut? Why couldn't we go somewhere nice?
I blame Dan.
Hey, Connecticut is quite nice.
Yeah, you know, it's a
Really
state of
quite
like,
nice.
you know, yarn balls and stuff. That's cool. I like it. We can go see the biggest yarn
It's
ball in the
alright,
world. Maybe have some moonshine.
That's like out west. We actually are pretty close to the Cape, so if you want to go to the Cape, we could always check that out.
No,
But anyways, so this is one of my big things. I'm very excited for a lot of us to be going. We have some other things coming up at the start of the new year. I know we got a thing going on up in that Miladys area. Mm-hmm.
You say
we're
Miladys?
thinking- Yeah, we're
Miladys area? Up in Miladys area. That's what you just said. I hope you realize this.
Yes, it is.
Rux, what's this event all about? Can you explain this to us?
Rux is hosting something in her.
What's in
area.
Miladys area that we are
What is
hosting?
wrong with you guys?
What's happening here?
Anyways, other than that, we also I'm going to PAX East. I know some of us are going to PAX East. I'm looking for maybe some kind of a shirt that says ALTTABME. Tristan, I know you guys like designing that kind of shit. So we're trying to get people to so PAX East. We potential Vegas next April.
I'm there, baby. Best strip clubs in the
I'm
world.
there.
Thank you.
I'm
Oh yeah,
going.
so that's right. All four of us.
I won't
in
gamble,
Vegas.
but I'll throw my money at naked people.
That's
Tristan.
done. I'm okay with that. All right, so we got some cool stuff going on right now. I'm very excited. Our newest one is Foxwoods. We're going. We'll do a show from Foxwoods for you guys.
Why do people wait until right now to tell me that my microphone is too loud? God damn it. Why couldn't you write that like 20 minutes ago, like an hour ago when we started, because I would have lowered it. Oh, I hate you. If I move it away from my mouth, is that a little better? Is that a little less loud now? I'm getting excited
No, I
this
want it in your
podcast.
mouth.
Oh.
Yeah, what happened to your redhead on that thing?
Oh, it's just loud when I get excited. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting a lot excited. It's over here. I took it off because I realized that I've been sitting back from it, so I don't need any type of pop filter. So.
Yeah, I think the Vegas one, we're probably going to aim at the last week in April. It looks like it's not near any
April,
big
wow.
holidays.
Isn't
Gives
that
some
Easter
people
or
time
something?
To get vacation. Well, isn't that
That's not
beginning
really
of April?
That's not really a big holiday though. That's like a it's like
Yeah.
What, Easter?
Because-
give up chocolate or something holiday. I don't even know, man. Or have chocolate
I
because
hate
you
it.
had
It's
given
easier
it
to
up
fly and
prior.
stuff to the East Coasters.
I don't know, I'm not gonna get into this religious shit right now. Yeah. So anyway, the basic gist of things is that we do events, we do real life get-togethers. So ALTTABME.com, man, come and join us. It's a community. It's not just a game. You know, it's like Guild Wars 2 dies. We're still gonna be here, still hanging out, still going and drinking, and we're gonna have a good time no matter what. Even people that don't drink, like me, can go and have a good time. So this is water. I mean, see, water. So,
Yeah, that's
Iced
lame.
tea.
so it's not lame.
I got my vanilla
It's not
porter,
lame.
my delicious
lame.
winter beer.
Just because I can have fun without alcohol
Are you
in my
the only one
system.
drinking alcohol right now?
I like your
That's all
cup.
right.
I think he
You're gonna
is.
drink when we go to Foxwoods.
What cup is in your?
Is he?
What is your cup there? What is on that there, Rux? Is that the dragon, the little dragon, the cute one? It's totally.
Let's do this.
I love that
Yeah.
dragon. I love
Make it out of my
Toothless. Oh my god. I love that dragon. Now he's kissing you on that forehead. Oh this. Oh yeah.
Or just on
That's
our
how
big
that
schnauz.
Wow. So. But hey, so
Moving on.
who here got affected by the hurricane? Not to totally derail from our Guild Wars 2 podcast, but who here got affected? Anybody? No?
My power went out for 5 minutes.
Wow.
That's all that happened.
You guys are spoiled.
Yeah,
I,
I have videos of like fucking cars exploding and shit. Like, what the hell?
You know,
I was in the
it
fucking
awful.
apocalypse.
I got to
Where
stay
do you
home from
live?
work. Yeah, I don't. In Jersey, I got to stay home from work for 2 days. My power went out for all of 5 minutes, and I basically got to play video games the whole time. It was
Oh, you bastards.
And the hurricane was aimed right at her and just completely missed.
It completely missed me.
Like,
It was great.
I don't know if the thing can pick that up, but like that's like 3 cars on fire
It's
and
on
a
the
transformer
floor.
exploding. Like what the fuck?
oh, poor
Yeah, that transformer
Tristan.
explosion video you got is huge. Knocks out like
Yeah.
3 blocks of lights.
Oh god, dude.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Well, we thought we were having like crazy lightning or something. We were like, are the aliens coming down? Because I see blue, I see purple, and then we realized that it was Transformers exploding all around, and they were making it look like lightning. It was crazy. It's crazy. I was lucky to get out for California on Friday, so I'm glad that happened though. It was nice and warm. It was beautiful down there. We all went on respective vacations actually. That's why the podcast was postponed for 2 weeks. Was Hurricane Sandy hit, and none of us were really in a position where we could turn on a computer and actually trust that it could stay on. And B, right after that, I went on vacation to California for work and other reasons. And Bruce went. Where'd you go, Bruce? You moved.
I moved into my
From
fantastic
Maine,
new apartment. Yeah, I had my during the hurricane was my last week up in Maine, and working for a lobster company. No boats existed for the entire week, so it's like, oh, gonna leave this road trip of 4 months early, move into my new apartment. If you hadn't noticed, I have an awesome leather chair here that I'm relaxing in. Sorry, I'm just.
Oh my God.
What are you doing? No.
About that shit.
Oh my God, you have no idea. If for the people that have been following this
We need
podcast
some
for a
black
while,
bars.
no,
some
seriously, you guys may have noticed that I had that red rose picture in either corner of me for the last 4 months. That was in a hotel room.
Rum.
I've been in a hotel room for 4 months.
Rum.
I have my own apartment. I'm on my own. I can cook a meal. I can go out to eat. Oh my God, you guys
Def-
don't even know.
Define on your own.
No,
Make sure
that-
you're not the one
that's
that's
actually-
I don't think you're alone right
Over
now.
here.
Define I in that sentence.
Yeah, you live with a woman, therefore you have no rights. The fact that she's letting you have that chair is beyond me.
This is true. I had to buy the other half of it, so we got the nice love seat with it.
See?
So she
See?
has her comfy area as well.
Mhm.
But you know what? I have my chair. She has her seating, and oh my God, it's nice. I'm so glad to be in a place where I don't have 56K internet anymore.
I saw someone
Because
on
that was
the
terrible.
yeah, it's nice to have you not lagging and like fucking up my edit, so I'm happy about that. Someone in the chat just said, anybody heard mention of free guild transfers with influence? Have anybody heard about that? I haven't heard anything about that.
I haven't heard anything
at all.
about that.
I don't see why they would do that. It seems like they would lose money doing that.
Yeah, guild transfers, you can't do it. Obviously, we can still transfer personally one time a week every 7 days. That's a cooldown now, is once a week. They have... Your guild exists on other servers. They just don't have all the influence purchases, correct?
Yes.
Is that how it works?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
so
see what they're
don't
saying.
see-
So they're saying maybe if you transfer, you can keep your influence?
No,
I haven't heard anything about
that's
that, though.
not right, because each server acts as a different influence part. So I don't. You would have to combine them in order to do that, and that just doesn't work.
Anyway, the
I
only
can't
server
see
you
that
should be
happening
on is
anytime
Yak
soon.
Ben, and the only guild you should be in is Arcanix. That's all I'm saying. We got the shit. We got the shit. Well, not to mention we also have Pukka. So anybody who wants to do some World v World with Pukka, let me tell you, that is an experience. Hold on a second. Let me just pull this up real quick.
Oh, here we go.
Why don't you guys talk amongst yourself while I find this screenshot of this amazing conversation I had with this guy. We were World v
I was
Worlding.
gonna say the only commander.
Well,
there's
that's what
two.
you get for being a commander. You get all
Yeah.
the trolls coming after you, all the
We were
all the
we were
people
World v
running around.
Worlding.
We've got like 6 commanders in Lion's Arch now all the time.
Okay, so
And Tristan's
but-
always one of them.
Yeah.
let's see,
With the
what did he
commander
say
icon.
here?
On.
He said, okay, so I wrote to him, we're not super serious World v Worlders, but we do take what we do serious, so if you disagree with what we did on the attack, we're sorry. What else here? But we won, and it took the map, so I'm not sure why you're angry. Because he was like messaging me all these angry things, like, don't attack there, pull your people back. And I was like, no, fuck that. We've been here for like 4 hours. We're taking this keep. So, so he writes, so angry. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, well, just be happy for us as a server. And he was like, talk to Pukka when I can't make your guild look like a 5-year-old. And I was like, no idea what that means, but good attempt at talking. You will get better as you mature. And then he writes to me, Team Pukka doesn't need to compete. And I was like, I was like, what? And then what else did he write here? Next time you talk to me, you add a sir and a bow. No, and a bow. I'm sorry. Yeah.
A bow?
Yeah, he fucked up. And then I hadn't talked to him. I didn't say anything to him. I didn't respond to any of this. And he goes, "Still wanna fuck me? Lol." I was like, I don't know what that means. And he goes, "Pukka Pukka means I crushed you. Next time you talk to Pukka, matter." And I said crushed? And he
That
goes,
sounds like Jar Jar Binks. Whistle me.
I told him, I said, it's hard to talk to you when you don't speak English. And then he didn't write back. I think then he got like banned for Chinese farming. I'm not really sure, to be honest. It was weird,
Is he on your
man.
friends list? You should have added him so you know where he is all the time.
It's Pukka Pukka. For anybody who wants to message this guy, oh, please do. Send him butter or something. It's Pooka space.
Send Tristan butter.
No.
Tristan loves butter. Send it to him.
No. Pooka space Pooka. That's his name. Pukka Pukka. Send him shit and be like, you are dumb.
Pukka Pukka.
Or be like, say your name, like insert your name here, thinks you're dumb. Because then he'll understand. Because that's how he talks in the third person. I'm just saying. So.
Boy.
Yeah, we've got an interesting
Tristan.
bunch of people on our World v World server. Like, they're hardcore. They go hard. They push hard. They definitely take it personally. But then you've got these weirdos that are just like, I don't know what they're doing. Like, they're fighting in there every day, and they have their own little drama with their own little drama people, and they're not actually doing anything. And the actual commanders that want to like progress people forward are, and then these guys are just like, don't listen to this guy, because, you know, fucking dude on Wednesday said that this guy has no clout. And I'm like, who are you? Like, what clout? This is a video game. What? Oh, God. Anyway, moving on. Sorry, I got derailed on that one.
No, I know of a couple of good commanders. I know the only one that I really listen to nowadays is Spectryx. He seems to be one of our big guys. Yeah, Tristan, yeah. But anyways, Spectryx is the guy that I usually try to follow when I see him online. And there's Rearx. Is that kind of a pronunciation? Rearix? Something like that? I don't know.
I don't know. There's a
I
couple
recognize
nice
the name when I
people,
see
though.
it.
There's a couple nice people. They're very...
Oh, yeah, they're all... Yeah.
like someone
You
yesterday,
can
they were
find
like,
the
are you
trolls.
new? And I was like, no. I was like, we've been here. We just don't do World v World very much. We come in as a guild every now and again. And oh, speaking of which, we're boosting that up. Every Sunday, Zacchus is one of our officers is going to be running World v World Day. So we are boosting our presence. Anyway, but like someone talked to me and they were like, oh, are you new here? I was like, no. And I was like, we've done this before. And she's like, oh, well, it's nice to see you here. Good luck with the fight. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So that's one thing that you would never get in other MMOs, is someone just like being like, are you new here? Do you need help? No? Okay, well, good luck. Excuse me, are you being nice to me right now? I'm not sure if I should take this as an insult.
Is that sarcasm I see?
Well, fuck you too. I mean, you know, like, how do you respond to that? Oh, I'm sorry. So, but anyway, you know, things are wrapping back up. Go for it.
You remind me of something that last couple of weeks we've been going a little less on our events, our guild events, but we are going to be ramping them back up. It's going to be a little bit rough with Foxwoods and Christmas and New Year's and stuff, but we're thinking about more stuff to do with the guild events, and like you said, Zacchus is getting back onto World v World.
Well, we had the
Now that
perfect
his computer's getting
storm.
back in-
We had the perfect storm of officers gone. Literally every officer the core officers that started this guild all had planned hiatuses for a week. And so literally you just saw all the main officers go, log out, week over, log back in. And you're like, what? Where have you been? So, I mean, we told everybody and everybody was up to date, but it was still weird to have all three officers that like ran the guild to be just gone. So I'm sorry if that caused any weirdness, but we're back. And
Oh, it was weird. It was really weird.
yeah, I saw the little
We
coup
were worried.
attempt that you guys tried. Yeah.
We tried, and then we realized we were gonna have to pay for everything.
So
if
I'm
you were
still
gone,
wondering, who do I
so-
send the receipt
and
to?
actually do stuff.
No, you're still in charge.
Send it to Belial.
Oh yeah, Belial wants
you
the
can make it
receipt.
all back
Okay,
with his
Yeah,
Goldie Farms.
nice.
Our local Chinese farmer.
Well, is there anything else that
Yeah,
you
one
guys
of the-
want to
one of
like?
the biggest things this guild.
Go.
Well, what I was going to say is one of the biggest things this guild has done and is kind of known for is making our own events. I mean, we were a big presence in Pink Day along with beer. We did the 50 Char Mesmer event, which was a big hit.
Oh God,
our
that was so
hide and seek
long
was a ton
ago.
of fun. Yeah, but
Oh my God, that was like
our hide
4
and seek
months
day
ago.
was fun. So we're
Hide and seek
definitely
day was
working on
good.
getting those back,
Yeah.
and doing more stuff. So it's just a matter of, like you said, it was a perfect storm of stuff falling apart, and then like we said, the next couple months are a little bit rough too. But we're not ignoring it. We are going to be getting more of it together too.
Hell yeah,
And
we have a Secret
I know
Santa
Tristan
planned.
wanted-
Sup?
Ooh.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
I know Tristan also
Cool.
wanted to do
Okay.
some server stuff that we hosted, so we're going to try to get that going.
Yeah, if any other guilds
So-
from Yak Spend are watching this or anything like that, feel free to hit us up, man. We are more than welcome. Go to ALTTABME.com. We have a section for a Yak Spend server communication. Post there. Post your guild name. Post what you want to work together on. We're more than happy to do that. We allied with Beer. We're working with them on events and stuff. If you guys want to run some events with us, if you guys just want to join in on an event with us, we're more than happy. We understand that people are not, you know, the whole patch jumping thing has, you know, there's a reason for that. People aren't necessarily logging on as much. So if you're looking for people to play with, you know, you're probably feeling the pressure of it just as much as we are, where people don't necessarily log on all the time. So come on over, come play with us. We have no problem. You know, you don't need to join our guild. You can just, you know, be our friends. So we have a nice looking for group system on our website. You can literally post and people will be like, you know, I will go and do this with you at this time. So I think it works.
The LFG thing is actually kind of cool. I like that, and I like that people are actually using it.
Yeah, it's a good
The
way to,
event
you know,
calendar.
if you're at work and you can't log into the
You know,
game, but you want a group later on, you go to the website.
The event thing is really nice too. Although I definitely slack and don't check that as much as the LFG thing.
That's all right. That's all right. It's good for the big events and it keeps us organized. Anyway, is there anything else about like the Lost Shore stuff?
Kind of nice.
The what?
We didn't. Trib was doing it the RP thing because you're talking about events, so she set that up.
Yeah,
yeah,
so there's some
role players
RP going
welcome.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a fan, but if you like to do it, go for it.
I put on my Wizard Robin hat every time. Every time.
Every time.
Yeah, we're getting back into a little bit more of that. The Lost Shores, there's some new stuff that came out today. I mean, we've talked about a lot of it, but one of the things that they're doing this weekend is they're doing the Sidekicking thing along with the free trial. So if you've
The
got
recruit a
friends that
friend,
aren't
yeah.
playing, you can invite a friend and bring them on for the weekend from the 15th to the 18th, and it's a free trial. They can play for free for the weekend only, and not only that, you can sidekick them up to 80 with you, so you can take them to whatever content you want
It's really cool.
including the Lost Shores, and that's all through ArenaNet. I don't know what the links are on that, if they've even posted the link for that yet, but that sidekicking is going away after the weekend, so Lost Shores is only going to be a level 80 area after that. I know a lot of people are thinking it's going to be always sidekick, but it's not.
I wonder if those members that
No.
are, I wonder if those like free trial members can send mail, because it would be very interesting to like sidekick your own account up and then bring it to a dungeon with you, and then just get some like double loot for yourself.
It has to be a new account.
No, I
That's the
know,
thing, though.
but you don't have
Like,
to
it has
have an
be-
account to do
I
it.
know you wanted your own account, but
Well, he's
Yeah.
saying
no,
just get
but
a free.
now you make. Oh, you
free
cannot
trial.
log in. You cannot log in with 2 accounts on the same computer. I've already tried that.
Well,
You
so if you
cannot
have 2
open
computers,
2 Guild Wars 2. If you
Yeah,
have
2
two
computers.
computers, but I'm just saying, just remember how complicated that is without the same keyboard and everything, and trying to do all those keybinds. It does get a little tricky.
well, you can multi-box.
But,
You can. I've seen people multi-boxing.
Yeah, you can, but I'm used to doing it on the same computer, so I'm not used to doing it with multiple computers. I'm used to I'm used to the auto follow. Auto following is gonna be a little bit harder since there is no real good follow
No
system.
follow.
Yeah, it gets a little tricky if you try to do stuff like that. But I'm sure the stuff you get is, again, like same as you go in World v World as a level 2, you go in World v World as an 80, you only get level 2 stuff.
Oh, that's
So I'm
true.
sure you're not getting all of the high level gear
Right.
on a new account.
Yeah, that's
So
true, because we
just
had someone that was
forewarning.
lower level running the Mad King stuff, and they weren't getting like incredible exotics that were 80.
Yeah.
They were getting exotics that were like level appropriate.
Yeah. And no one authorizes multi-boxing, just so you know, whoever, Mirage, when you're saying that in chat. No one authorizes it, but there's no real...
Well, nothing says that
way to
you can't
ban
do
that.
it. There's nothing in the game or in the rules that say you cannot multi-box. So.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
see a problem with multi-boxing, to be honest, unless you're beating. I don't know. I don't feel like it beats the system because you're still. That's how you want to play. You're not hurting anybody else by multi-boxing.
Well, they've
Yeah.
said that they're not against having multiple accounts, but they are against having anything that automates it in
Yes.
any way. So if you've got some sort of
What are you gonna do there?
Sorry.
What are you gonna do there? What you got a big decision to make here.
Hold on.
You got a big decision to make.
Oh no.
I sent a stripper to his house.
sucks.
It's a cop. He's gonna about to strip though. It's gonna be awesome. Chicka wow wow.
Yes.
He's going, sir, can I come in? And he's like, I don't know. Maybe.
He's like, I'm sorry, I'm doing a podcast right now. If you could come back.
Yeah, this is important,
how
super important business right now.
important stuff. No,
I love
can't,
how
no.
there's a second... I love how it's in frame.
Yeah.
And it's not like in another room. It's right there.
Another what?
In another room.
Rum?
Another what?
Like
Rum.
you drink rum?
What is... Okay, why does everyone make fun of me for saying the word room? I do not
Rum?
hear...
Because you don't
Rum.
say
Is it
room.
rum?
You say rum.
Is it room?
Yeah, it's room.
Room.
2 O's.
It's like one of those... Road? Rude. Road?
You just reminded me of the guy that does like Stewie's voice right now. Brian, I'm a
Seth
stripper.
MacFarlane?
Yeah.
Oh, Fox.
Okay. So cut it back in.
Are you good now? You're good?
You good?
I'm not cutting that out. That was great, man. We were expecting like a cop stripper to walk through the door and be like, hey, you're under arrest for being naughty.
Well, that I would have let in. It was just someone wanting money from me.
Oh,
Jehovah's Witness.
damn Mormons.
Well,
No.
Oh.
Just we get people coming to the door.
Damn, Mom.
Hey, give me money for this or that.
oh.
Oh.
He's like, Mom, no, I have
Hey,
important
Did you see the dog
podcasting
running
business
along
to
the
do
top
right
of the
here.
couch with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, where were we at? We were
Alright.
talking about Lost Shore stuff.
I have
Oh, we're talking about the
You
no
were
sidekick.
idea what I was talking
Oh, the
about.
sidekick.
Oh, yeah, we're talking
Okay,
about the
start
sidekicking.
over.
We're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about the multi-boxing. But, I mean, I personally
Oh,
won't
okay,
do
yeah.
it. I see people doing it, but again, that account only exists for the weekend. I'm sure there are restrictions on it that we don't know about, such as trade, not allowing to trade, not allowing to whisper people that are beyond the account that gave you the free trial or something like that. I'm sure there are things in place for that. If there isn't, bad job, ain't it? But we'll
They'll
see.
fix it
We'll
for
see
next
this weekend.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
You
I'm
spank
sure
them.
this is a trial run. This is their first trial for this game. So they know they had week one. They had 1 week trials for Guild Wars 1. They had restrictions on it. I'm sure they know what they're getting into. If they screw it up, slap on the wrist, ANET, fix it for next time.
What do you feel-
I'm sure
so-
there'll be a lot of.
Anytime I've ever heard of a trial for a game that's released this soon, immediately in my mind I go, failed. Oh, hear me out. Hear me out. Now, with ArenaNet's game here, Guild Wars 2 is one of those games where if you only play it for a couple of hours, it's very highly addicting. Because you don't know what to expect, and it's so much new stuff. But on the other hand, it also is very confusing and complicated. So, is it good that there's a trial already, or should this be like signs of bad things to come?
I think the fact that it requires someone with a Guild Wars 2 account to send you a key. If it was everyone can try this, hop on and try it, that would be a bad sign. The fact that it requires someone to actually invite you to it, that means, hey, do you want to try this? I can help you with it. That's going to lead a lot more people into it that will actually play it long term. If it's hey, you want to try this game, random internet people? that's where it's going to get tricky. I think they're doing a very good job limiting it to must have an account before said time. You only have a limit of 3. You can play with that person at their content. That is fantastic.
The fuck was that?
Yeah, this seems a little bit more like a friends and family invite than it is a free trial. I mean, it is a free trial, but I think I'm kind of mirroring what Bruce said, that it's not just an open free trial to, we don't have enough people buying this game, come in and play this game. It's more of, if you've got someone that's on the fence, bring them in, show them what it's about, get them hooked.
Hey, I'm all for trials. I definitely think
First
that
one's always free.
I think it's good though that they're doing it friends and family. I didn't know that it was just like that. I thought for some reason that it was like a generalized thing. But that's good because then you can have your buddy help you through the rough, like, you know, growing pains of the game, and then you'll get that, oh my god, I need more addiction feeling, and then you'll buy the game, and then you'll be like, damn it, there's no end game. I mean, you'll be like, oh, this is a great game. No, but I think that's a smart move on ArenaNet. So, anywho, I'm out of topics here. Anybody else have any topics that they're thinking about, or should we wrap this one up?
I gotta pee, so I'm all for wrapping it up.
Okay. Definitely don't know if I want to end the podcast on that, but I don't want to end the podcast with you peeing in yourself either. So, or in a bottle like other podcasts.
Hey! Get the podcast, you win a prize.
Right. Yeah.
A bottle of tea.
That really happened. Anyway, to wrap things up, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for coming back. We will be here every Monday. We're ramping up the podcast again. We'll definitely be here every Monday, 5:15 p.m. Eastern at alttabme.com/live. And then you can see it on Wednesdays on YouTube where we publish it. So if you missed it, you can check it out. Or if you want to just watch our pretty faces again, you can be like, ooh, my God, tits so sexy. Oh, my God. Ooh, Rux's boobs are so nice. Ooh. I don't know. Whatever you guys do, whatever gets you off, do whatever you need to do. Just don't do it on the screen or in the comment section because I don't want to see it. Anyway, ALTTABME.com has a lot of cool new changes. Check it out. We have the war. We're implementing some cool new stuff, fun stuff for the community. So if you are tired of Guild Wars, or you need a break from Guild Wars, or you just need somewhere to play whilst at work waiting to get home and play Guild Wars, come to ALTTABME.com. And alt-tab that shit from your boss. Boom. Like that. Boom. And, yeah. So I think that about wraps it up. Hopefully everybody, once again, is safe from Hurricane Sandy. I know that we got hit here pretty fucking hard. So we are still recovering, and we have power, though, and internet. So I guess it's, you know, first world problems at this point. But it was nice to go outside for those few days. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
He always does a bye thing.
That's right.
Bye.
Oh, on 3. Ready?
Bye.
1, 2, 3. Bye. What the fuck?
Bye.